Alright, I am live. Whoa. Alright. Let me move the chat box actually now I'm thinking about it. Chat box, you guys can go up there. Actually, you guys can go here. Alright. Alright, let's just get right into it then. So, first up, we got Banjo and Kazooie. I'm just gonna go alphabetical, by the way. Alright, so welcome to the Super Smash Bros. Ease of Use tier list. Pretty self-explanatory. I'm just gonna measure how hard I think all the characters are in this dumb game. So going from top to bottom, we got Mega Mind, the smartest characters in the game. Big Brain characters are kind of hard. Average IQ, they're pretty. You gotta be. They're like in the middle of everything. Not stupid, but not smart. Just another middle tier here. Not exceptionally smart IQ to play those characters, but dummy. Just characters are so dumb, and dummies can play them. And then Cobwebs, these are the characters that people who don't have anything in their brain can pick up and play. So. Getting right into it, we're gonna start with Banjo and Kazooie. And for characters that really only have to focus on using one move, i.e. Egg, they automatically go into dummy. Or that's just my mind. He goes into not stupid, not smart because the item play is his item play is kind of hard because he can do the because he has to like stall off stage pretty weirdly with it. But he does. Yeah, it's hard because he's a projectile character, and those characters aren't smart for the most part. The projectile characters have to have like really wild mechanics to be really hard characters, and I don't think Banjo has that. Bayonetta. It's weird because getting the damage with Bayonetta isn't hard. Like, yeah, her neutral's not great, but you're still gonna like rely on landing like a heal slide or an ABK. And the combos themselves aren't hard. But the hard part of Bayonetta comes when you have to get the kill of Bayonetta, and getting the kill of Bayonetta is really hard, especially considering that she has the the worst or second worst kill options in the entire game. It's either her or Jigglypuff. And she isn't an aggro character, and aggro is naturally harder, and she doesn't have like the best disjoints either. I'm gonna put her, and like you gotta play off stage of her like really well too. I'm gonna put her in average IQ. I think that's where she belongs. Bowser, no explanation needed. It's Bowser, dude. This character is so easy. He has the most forgiving hitboxes in the entire game. He has a dummy command grab. He has a dummy out of shield. No explanation needed on Bowser. Bowser Jr. All he has to do is use minecart. I don't think there's much more explanation needed on Bowser Jr. Like I said before, characters that only have to use one move in neutral, or just one move to play the game, automatically go to dummy. Byleth. I think there's a lot of things you have to keep track of as this character, but it is a sword user. And swords are kind of in that like projectile category where they're pretty easy for the most part. And it's not like the gameplay is like that difficult. Like when your opponent's not near you, you're using like your far aerials, and then when you get close, you're using air. I think the hardest part about Byleth is recognizing like what your combo routes are going to be after you up-B them. At the end of the day, I don't think that's that hard. But you gotta pick your spots like kind of well with Byleth, though, I feel like. And she doesn't have like a play the game for you kind of move. I'm gonna put her in not stupid but not smart. I think she's one of the harder Fire Emblems. Falcon. I'm gonna... Thank you, man. I'm gonna put him in not stupid, not smart. His game plan is pretty simple. But but he gets pretty well rewarded off of just simple reads. So he's not like the most like, I don't think he's the hardest aggro character because he gets rewards off grabs, and he also has like pretty simple like combos. Like he has the more advanced combos which are pretty hard, but at the end of the day, like they're the combos you can lead into. But his disadvantage is kind of bad. He's either an average IQ or not smart. I think Bayonetta is harder, but I think he's harder than Byleth. I'm gonna put him average IQ. I think aggro characters like get that little bump up. Chrom. So this is gonna be a thing I talk about with a few characters here in this video, and it's Chrom, and so Chrom players don't do the advanced combos even though they have the opportunity to do so. And that's just stupid. Like it's not like a Captain Falcon player, because most Falcon players, even like the mid-level ones, do the advanced combos, and they're hard. And Chrom advanced combos are hard too, but no Chrom players do them besides Lavish, and I wouldn't even say call Lavish like a top-end Chrom player. Like you don't see TK3 or Mr. R or Lancelot like doing the top-level Chrom, like doing the advanced Chrom stuff. And also, it's like a very oppressive, like sore, like disjointed aggro character. Like aggro characters with massive disjoints, like Roy and Chrom, are pretty easy because they can just do as they please. Fox top 10. I think Fox is gonna be way up there, but we'll get to Fox soon. I'm just going alphabetical, and if you want me to skip around, so chat requests a character for me to go for, I'll do that. No, I don't. I think he goes in cobwebs. Honestly, in all honesty, you combine the fact that Chrom players don't do the advanced combos, and the fact that the hardest part of Chrom is knowing how to recover. I don't think he's that hard because this character can do almost whatever he wants in neutral. I do think Bowser's easier though. Yeah, we can skip ahead to Fox really quick. I don't know if Fox is for sure going to be top 10 in my list. But he's in Big Brain for sure, 100%. The thing about Fox is that he's an aggro character with no disjoints, and he's really honest as well. And he also a lot of his mileage comes off of reads, and he doesn't get rewards off grabs. And so he's just this very like he can be oppressive because some characters / players don't know how to deal with Fox buttons. But I don't think his buttons are inherently dishonest, and I do think that like Fox players have to have mix. They have to be right a lot of times during a match in order to get the win. And overall, I just think I think they're easy to pick up because you can just mash Fox buttons. But I think they're hard to do well with. Is my opinion on Fox. Alright, next up, Cloud. Cobwebs. Just another dumb sword character. I don't think I think they really seal this deal. That I don't think any Cloud players ever said that Cloud is hard to any capacity. Because you have safe stored aerials to play the game with, and if someone ever touches your shield, use Climb Hazard. And I don't even think you have to pick your spots that well with Cloud, because Cloud just has so much speed. And if you're losing, or you can just charge limit too. Corrin. I think she's a little harder than the other sword characters we've gone over. Actually no, I don't. It's basically like Corrin only wants to do falling aerials, and so the only part of the game that she really has to focus on is like counter parry or doing the counter play to her falling aerials, and which isn't that hard. That's like the only like counter play of the game that she has to deal with. All right, Diddy Kong. The combos are hard, and he gets comboed really easily himself. But at the end of the day, I don't think Hold Banana Shield is inherently difficult. I'm gonna put him in not stupid but not smart. I think he's harder than Byleth. Next up, Doc. You gotta pick your spots like decently well with him. But like if you try and play the game intelligently with Doc, he's like probably up here. But most Doc players don't. He gets outranged. I'm gonna put him in not stupid but not smart, but behind Diddy Kong and Byleth. I'm gonna put Corrin above these two. Duck Hunt. I think he's big brain. You have to use the projectiles like pretty well with him in order to get any mileage. And there's a lot of things you can just set up with him. He's either average IQ or big brain. I think Fox is harder, but I think he's harder than Bayonetta and Falcon. Alright. Next up, DK. Cobwebs, dude. Actually... No, I don't think any... It's hard for me to say any of the heavyweights are that difficult. Yeah. The hardest part about DK is getting out of disadvantage, but I don't think it's a big deal. Because you're playing a heavyweight, you're just accepting that your disadvantage is bad anyway. I mean, he doesn't really have like a play for the neutral free kind of move though. And it's not like he can just like recklessly swing aerials. He can get away with like a decent amount. He's not great either. Actually, mind. I'm gonna put him dummy. He's not down there. Falco, Cobwebs, 100%. This guy literally only plays the game with one move, and then that combos and that move combos into like 80+% and it kills. Probably easier than both Cloud and Chrom. Greninja, not stupid, but not smart. I think Greninja players grossly overrate how smart this character is because a lot of it is just dash attack and down tilt, and they have to get like really easy follow ups. I think the hardest thing you have to do with with Greninja is like dash attack, drag down upper jab block. I think it's the hardest thing you're ever gonna have to do as Greninja. Like not having out of shield is like it sucks, but I think that makes him like slightly more. I think that makes him like inherently harder. So, all right, Ganondorf. He's kind of like DK, where he's really easy, but because he's really bad, you have to play kind of smart with him. But nothing in Ganondorf's kit is like inherently hard to use or inherently hard to play with him. Hero. I think this character is so... I think that... Dude, people... Defoe and Adam will never let me live this down. But because I'm right and they're wrong. But, Hero's Megamind, dude. This character has to play neutral while reading a menu. While knowing the applications of the menu. And cycling through the menu if they want to get a specific option. While playing neutral with the opponent. Like, it's so difficult. And you also have to deal with the fact that your character is like changing the entire match. You have to like manage your MP as well. It's like the only true resource management character in the game. Like you have Robin, but I don't. But Robins are a lot more straightforward than Hero. Because Robin can just get tombs back by just waiting, while Hero has to get MP back by like hitting the opponent. Also, if you want to throw this into your ear, international hero players have to learn different languages, so that's pretty big brain. Ice climbers. I don't think doing it's weird because the combos themselves are hard, but the grab into the combo and then spamming Squall Hammer isn't hard. Like the actual the execution of ice climbers is hard, but the gameplay isn't. If that makes sense. I'm gonna put him up here. Ike, dummy. Or no, he's dummy. He literally plays the game with one move. And then only has to worry about the counterplay two-side one move. He's kind of like Corrin. He and Corrin almost play exactly the same. Except Ike can use up B sometimes. Incineroar. I don't think slow characters are hard. Incineroar is a pretty easy character, at least in my mind. And the only conflict you have to worry about is like using revenge in certain matchups against like projectiles. Inkling. I think moving around with Inkling's kind of hard, dude. And you also have to like, because the movement's like kind of. It's not difficult, but like you have to like be very ambiguous how you move it with Inkling, because that's the biggest strength of Inkling, was just how it's just the dash. But he has like I don't know, he has like pretty overwhelming aerials. I'm gonna put him down there between Diddy Kong and Greninja. All right, next up, Isabelle. Isabelle's down here. They just play the game with slingshot, and then they use fishing rod and ledge with and then down B, and they use down B and fishing rod and ledge to let trap you. Joker, this character is really hard. I think he's a really mobile character, and using that mobility is overall really hard. And he also has like some pretty weird hitboxes to play the game with. And then when you get Arsene, his character becomes a lot easier. But also like gun movement is really hard too. And utilizing gun is super difficult. But Joker players also like regularly do the advanced combos too, which is like pretty impressive. Alright, Jigglypuff. I think it's not stupid, but not smart. I think you have to pick. I think you have to pick your spots pretty well with Jigglypuff, or else you just get blown up because you're so light. And also, Jigglypuff players do the advanced combos pretty often, from what I've seen. But I don't know. So this character does have some impressive moves too. But I think this is the right spot for a Puff. Kazuya, how hard is it to land one hit in neutral to go into your combo? I think it's average IQ. I also think Ice Climbers are going to be an average IQ for the same reason. Just Kazuya gets his hit more consistently. Ken, auto turnaround, dummy tier. Let me grab Ryu and Terry too, because they all have auto turnaround. That's auto dummy tier. I don't care how hard the rest of the kit is. King DDD. You go to dummy. You literally only play the game with one move. Same thing for K-Roll. Again, literally play the game with only one move. Kirby, kind of like Puff, we gotta pick your spots pretty well. Ain't no way you put Kazuya in average, dude. Okay, Kazuya. I just talked about Kazuya, but Kazuya literally only has to play neutral to get one hit, and then he combos you off of one hit. So the actual gameplay of Kazuya isn't hard. It's just the execution that's hard, which is why he goes in the average IQ. It's the same deal for Ice Climbers. I don't think getting one hit is as hard as people make it out to be. He also has aimbot, which you know, which is a demerit on his standing. Link. I think picking your spots with Link is pretty hard. Ryu and Ken. Ryu and Ken had aimbot, so they go into auto dummy tier. I think that Ken is the hardest between Ryu. I think Ken is slightly harder than Ryu because Ryu just used Fireball, which is broken. So, all right. I think picking your spots with Link is pretty hard, as I was saying. And then the bomb combos are really hard, but nobody really uses those. So how hard is Link really? I think he's kind of like Diddy, where you can do the advanced combos, but picking your spots, but it's well, Diddy Kongs do the advanced combos, but it's like the combos themselves that are hard. It's not the actual gameplay of Diddy Kong. You an elite smasher? I am indeed an elite smasher. I'm gonna put Link here. It's like he could be all the way up here, but no, but like I don't know. He's weird. Little Mac, cobwebs. Better put the Minecraft character in the highest tier. Steve is weird because the game plan is actually pretty simple with Steve. Cause you just mine and then you run away with minecart, right? But like the higher end combos are super hard. Where is Steve? There he is. But the higher end combos are like really hard, but but most Steve players don't do it. I think he goes into not stupid but not smart. And he's kind of like in the same breath of like the Link and Diddy Kong in my mind. Alright. Lucario. Staying alive in Ultimate where everyone has dumbass kill confirms is really hard. But I think the actual gameplay of Lucario isn't that hard. I think it's slightly harder than like those characters though. Because he gets rewarded off staying alive, but he's not that heavy, and every character in this game has dumb heal options, besides like 3 of them. Lucas plays the game with one projectile, but his combos are like kind of cool, kind of difficult. He goes here. I think he's harder than these guys though. Lucina, sword character. I think she goes all the way down here in all honesty. I don't think she's as dummy as those characters though. I'm gonna put her up here. Luigi literally only has to get a grab. Mario, cobwebs, 100%. He might be easier than Bowser. The hardest thing you're ever gonna have to learn of Mario is like down throw dash up air, and that's kind of it. This character just kills you off of free grabs, and you just have to like naturally be afraid of him because all his moves combo into all his moves. And also Mario players don't recognize that they have a frame 3 auto shield option, and they never use it. That's auto cobwebs tier. What is it, Kitty? Ada? Okay. Marth has tippers, but I don't think that makes him inherently harder than Lucina, like in any right. The hardest part about Marth is doing this correct side B, which I don't think is inherently that difficult. I don't know if like I'm putting him up there, I guess. Hey Ada. Mega Man, I think this character's pretty hard. He's like, I think he's slightly harder than Duck Hunt because I think the no, I don't think he is. The overall just like projectile usage of this character is like pretty hard to like grasp, and you have to like be constantly like thinking about how you're gonna use the lemons and how you're gonna use the lemon blades and the lemon blades, the metal blades, and and this character has like a lot of tech that Mega Man players regularly use, like the leaf shield, a grab metal blade thing. And they also have like the footstool combos as well, like which granted don't work that well. My cat's in front of my camera, which granted don't work that well, but they're still available to the player, right? I think he's pretty hard. Moving on to Meta Knight, this character really fishes for dash attack and grab, and down air camps when. Yeah, I think he goes about there. Pac-Man in the highest tier. I think he's not stupid but not smart. It's like the item play is like kind of hard with Pac-Man. I think that hard. You gotta like stall out for your items, but the boxing tools for Pac-Man are like pretty ridiculous. I don't think he's like inherently that difficult. Mewtwo has a charge shot. Has confusion. He's kind of weird to move around with. Some of his stuff like isn't that intuitive. But so I think he goes like here. Me's don't exist. I'm just gonna put them. Okay, fine. Me Brawler literally just fishes for the kill setups. Me Gunner plays with charge shot, and me Sword Fighter only uses one move. This character actually does. This character's actually cobwebs. Min Min, I think she's a little harder than people give her credit for. Especially after the nerfs where they nerfed the shield stun on arms. So I'm gonna put her like there. Game watch. I don't think he completes cobwebs, but he's pretty dummy. This character has some really overpowered moves, dude. Because a lot of Game Watch players can just shield camp with up B and then reset neutral whenever they want to down air. It's really impressive. Ness, cobwebs. You can really just fraud moves with this character, and you don't have to worry about it. Gonna put him like between Cloud and Chrom. Alright, PT. I think Pokemon Trainer players are really dumb. It's weird because Pokemon Trainer players don't know how to play their own character because they literally should be playing the character that's correct to play in every matchup, but then they use Charizard as a crutch. So that's auto dummy tier. It wasn't until Quid came along that like the Pokemon Trainer player that I've seen a Pokemon Trainer player like correctly play the character. Like the Pokemon Trainer players don't understand how the character works, and it's really sad. Palu, cobwebs. She's really oppressive, dude. Peach. This is like a character that actually has to use their tech in neutral. And that's really impressive in my mind. It's not like she's not like aggro. I don't think she's as smart as like Fox or Joker. But the fact that she has to constantly use tech in neutral and in her execution is really impressive, and I think it's really difficult. Pichu. I think it's average IQ because the Pichu players are Pichu's obviously really light, and you have to like play around that part of the game, and you also have to. The Pichu players do the advanced combos, so they're not ignorant of that part of the game for them. But sometimes the character can just press whatever they want. So I think this is the go about here. Pikachu, I think he goes in Megamind, slightly harder than Hero. He's a really hard. I think that's. Yeah, actually, no, I changed my mind. I think he's with the big brain because Pikachu players can just throw out aerials if they really need to. Olimar. I think Pikmin management is kind of hard, but it's at the same time very oppressive, so I'm just going to put him at the top of this tier. Plant. This character's dummy. You only have to use Patui. Aegis, unlike Pokemon trainer players, they actually understand how the character works and actually play the two when they know how to. But still, the character's way too aggressive. She goes into dummy. I think she goes about here. Richter. I think they're kind of like. I think they're kind of weird because the projectiles in tandem. It's like kind of oppressive, but you also like kind of know how to use them. Right there next to Crom. I actually think they're easier than Palutena. Rob, Cobwebs easily. He's probably right here. Rob players don't do the advanced combos, and they're ignorant towards of it. So that's auto Cobwebs here. If you're super oppressive and you don't do the advanced combos, Cobwebs here. Alright, Ridley, very just simple character. It's literally just Nair in down tilt. I think Robin's pretty easy. Robin, you have like chargeable projectiles, and then you also have like very oppressive aerials, and then you can just which force your opponent to shield, and then you have a command grab. I think the gameplay is very simple for Robin. Samus Cobwebs. This character literally only has to play the game with one move. I think Cloud is harder than him. Sephiroth. It's kind of like the Pichu effect where being light is kind of hard. That's kind of it. You also use your swords pretty effectively. Sheik, I think, goes into Big Brain. You have to have a mix of this character to succeed. She's like Fox in that same sense, but she doesn't get rewards off grabs. Well, she does get rewards off grabs, I mean. Shulk, it is Giant Sword, but I think he has so much tech that like Kome regularly does that. But I don't know how many other Shulks that do it. And he doesn't really get rewards off grabs. Like you have to under certain conditions he gets rewards off grabs. So he has to have like a lot of mix to be good with Shulk. And he has like really slow startup on a lot of his arrows. It's kind of like Sephiroth, but I think it's even slower. Snake, Megamind. This character has to play neutral 2 seconds in advance, which no other character has to do in the game. That's evidence enough. Though this character has some really oppressive hitboxes and like damage output sometimes. Rosalina, also Megamind. The amount of tech you have to use Rosalina is so impressive to me, because between attack canceling and just overall just controlling Luma, I think it's really hard. Alright, next up, Pit. I think this character is pretty easy. This character has like the most standard, like just solid sword aerials in the game. And it's like the gameplay end is like pretty easy after that. Sonic. It's literally just side B in the spring, right? Well, I'm putting Game Watch on here too. I don't think picking your spots is that hard to Game Watch. Sora, I think. I mean, it is a sword, but I don't. But it's not that impressive as a sword. And the combos are kind of hard, and from what I can tell, the swords are like trying to do the combo, so they're not ignorant of it. I'm gonna put them up there. Toon Link. I think the item usage for Toon Link is harder than is weird. I think he's kind of like here, where you have to be like very good with the items in order to do well with this character. Villager. This character literally only plays the game with Slingshot, and then it's like the opposite. It's like slightly different than Isabel's. When Isabel plants down B, and it's Villager plants down B and bowling balls. So he goes there. Wario. I think he's slightly harder after the nerfs because the waft confirms aren't as consistent. But I don't. He might have been Cobwebs like free nerf, dude. This character was so dummy. I think he just goes into dummy for now. Well, one of the most funniest characters in the game. Where did I put Lucina? He goes right next. He goes right next to Lucina. Wii Fit Trainer. I think she's kind of like Mewtwo, where she's kind of hard to like move around with, and the moves aren't intuitive. But she has Charge Shot and like a projectile, but it's not the most impressive oppressive projectiles in the game. Yoshi, he goes into dummy tier. Pretty self-explanatory. Zelda also goes into dummy tier. Young Link. I think Toon Link and Link are a lot harder than Young Link. This character literally just plays the game from half stage. And ZSS goes into Big Brain. She's hard. She's really hard. I'm gonna put her here because you have to. In order to succeed with VSS, you have to have a lot of mix and like a lot of conditioning. And she also doesn't have like she also doesn't have like her most impressive thing and is there, but she also gets no rewards off grabs while also having the worst grab in the game. So all right, let's see. So I just want to point I want to put here at the end is that low tier characters are oftentimes really easy because low tier characters only have one option that you have to use, and therefore you only have one option that you have to focus on the counterplay for. And that's why low tier characters are usually harder than top tiers, unless the top tier characters have very impressive options, kind of like Rob or Mario, something like that. So I think I'm going to take a second to order this. I think I am going to move. I just like the order this here, but does Diddy Kong go up? I think Diddy Kong. No, I don't think Diddy Kong goes up. I think Duck Hunt goes down though. I don't think his projectiles are that hard to use. I'm gonna order dummies. This is the only tier I really didn't order while doing this. Who's the hardest character in this tier? I think I'm gonna go. Pit Wolf. I think I was ordering this for a while. Up until I got to, like, Kirby, I think. I think Lucina. Goes, like, there. Villager goes right next to Isabel, but I think it's slightly easier. Trainer, Zelda. I think Link goes up a little bit. It's like there. I think Yoshi's about there. About there. Alright, I think that's gonna be the full list. Thank you guys for tuning in. This was my ease of use tier list. And I'm gonna post it on Twitter. I'm also gonna upload the VOD to YouTube soon. Alright. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next stream.